Howdy everyone, it's Nomix here, bringing you another StarCraft 2 cast. This is a 1v1 on Tal'Darim altar, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner is our red Zerg Chadalac, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner is our blue Zerg Creegz. This is Tal'Darim altar, so it is one of the larger maps, which, with them spawning close by air positions, I imagine we're going to see Mutaplay. Tal'Darim is a map that definitely, I would say, rewards a really mobile army, because if you can move across the map really quickly, you can counter quickly, you can respond to an attack quickly, you can push them away, things like that. So it's really important to have a very mobile army in big maps like this. I'm doing this particular cast. I saw this replay on one of the replay sites, and Creegz was asking for a little bit of help analyzing why he lost against Chadalac. So sorry to spoil it, but this is going to be more about analyzing, with the idea that we're going to try to figure out what went wrong. So moving along, we see both of them are playing pretty greedy. We see Chadalac, he's just putting down his spawning pool, or, come on, spawning pool, there we go. And over in the blue Zerg side, we don't see Creegz dropping anything quite yet. He's at 12 food, and Chadalac is at 14 food, 15. Playing pretty greedy. I would have gone fast expand on this one, and saved up for the minerals to drop a very early hatch, just because of the macro play in this particular map. See Creegz, he's cutting across the map. It looks like he's gonna finally scout Chadalac and get a peek at what's going on in here. He will catch that spawning pool right before it builds, which should give him some pretty valuable information about when that spawning pool went down. He's going to notice that his opponent definitely didn't expand early, which means that with this late of a spawning pool and this many drones, chances are he's doing a one base, very greedy style play, versus doing any kind of cheese where there might be a proxy hatch somewhere, or building early units. Probably didn't hide a spawning pool. He may have the drone counts at this early of the game. As long as you build your pool at around like 9 or 10 and continue to drone up, it'll be very hard to tell whether or not they hid their pool. But in this case, Chadalac definitely didn't try to hide anything. He's not trying to be sneaky. Second gas going down. I imagine we're going to see him. Creegz, you lost in that engagement. What was it, 75? Yep. That probably wasn't a good idea. Dropping spine crawlers in your enemy's base, probably not going to work. See Creegz dropping his second gas. He's got a Baneling nest, which is great. I love Banelings on ZvZ, and the reason why I love them is that ZvZ usually revolves in the early game very heavily around Ling play. So if you can definitely stem the flow of Lings with a little bit of Bane love, then it's a good thing. It's not a bad idea to build one. This, however, is going to be annoying. Just enough Zerglings to force Creegz to cancel that. Another 75 minerals lost. No, 125. Bummer. Yep, 200 minerals lost. This queen, if this queen dies, that's going to be pretty devastating. Multiple drones to kind of save that queen, because what that does is it nerfs your ability to continue to produce units. And even though you had reinforcements coming, you could have saved that queen and continued this larva inject, and instead you had to spend another 150 minerals, which is really going to set you back. That is the difference between you expanding now versus, or a couple of minutes later versus right now. Could have been. Anyway, it damages your economy. That's the gist of it. What do you got going on here? I don't like this expansion. I don't like it at all. I'll tell you why. Because of this, right? Prepare to get motion sick. Right? Oh, hit the edge of my desk. those of you that get motion sick, let's do it again. Awesome. That is a very, very long, long way for your units to walk. If you have your expansion all the way across the map, you might think you're being cute. You might think that he's never gonna find my base. I'm so devious. I'm hiding my hatchery in a place where I can't really use it as an advantage. But if I ever get caught, I'm going to lose it, and it's great because it's not really that great. It's bad, and here's why. If Creegz scouted this, it would be dead. Straight up. Because you can't get units to it this early in the game. You can run Zerglings, but by the time they get there, either all the drones are dead, or he's halfway done killing your hatchery. And if Creegz were smart, he could then press that attack to force you to send units while then attacking your main and killing more drones. Rinse, repeat, attack this expansion, counterattack the main, blah 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 blah, you know. Bad idea to put your expansion that far away from your base. See some more lings coming out for Chadalac. Got +1 attack to air. Mutas, probably. I'm gonna go with probably. And something that's been bothering me is this. Creegz, your map vision is lacking. Where is your enemy? Well, he's right here. You don't know what he's got, so that's bad. There's a problem with that already. But you don't know if he's here. That's a problem. You don't know if he's here. That's a problem. You don't know if he's here. That's a problem. So, by not maintaining any kind of map control, or by not scouting around the map and being aware of it, especially on a map this large while playing another Zerg, you're really doing yourself a disservice, and you're kind of putting yourself behind with a pretty big disadvantage, because had you been scouting around, you probably would have seen these. Yep, and I would imagine that this is going to be the beginning of a lot of economic damage. Spawning close air on Tal'Darim really, like I said before, rewards a mobile army, and mutas are just that. See Chadalac kiting him down here. He's gonna move him down here, not kite him. He's not attacking things yet. Chadalac. This is why you don't A-move mutas. They attack things, and then the surprise is gone. Not that Creegz is doing anything about this. Creegz, you really should box your trolls and just get him the heck out of there, man. Move him around, micro maybe, but that's a lot of drones down there right now. That's a ton of mutas. What's the... You just weren't ready for this. So what we're looking at is a disadvantage because Creegz doesn't have any anti-air. He doesn't have any units that can attack air. Probably should have built and there it is, he did. That's good. This looks like it'll be enough to fend this off, but the lingering damage is going to be, what, 1,000 minerals? Yeah. So 1,000 resource difference with Chadalac's attack versus what Creegz lost, and that's pretty devastating, because that sets Creegz behind quite a lot. The damage here is pretty evident. He's missing, compared to Chadalac, about 300 resources of income, and about 200 resources worth of gas, and that's pretty devastating. Creegz does have enough forces to continue to defend himself. Chadalac, meanwhile, just building more units and pressing his advantage. He knows he's got a good advantage, he's not too worried. Building tons of Zerglings. It's a shame they have to run all the way down the entire frickin' map. Okay. See, Creegz, since he lost his Spire, that was pretty darn devastating. Having to rebuild it, I would have gone Hydra instead, because if I know my opponent's going Muta, I know he's probably not going to stop, because I'm behind. He knows I'm behind. Why not press the attack? Why not continue to use the mutas that have been so effective, especially since my bases are pretty darn vulnerable. Get some Hydras. Not too many, you don't want to overcommit, but get enough to keep a pretty mobile anti-air force around each of your bases and support them with maybe a spore crawler each. And suddenly this pain in the ass, that's this huge force of mutas, becomes pretty easy to mitigate, especially if you counterattack wisely. See, another pretty big engagement going to happen. You see Chadalac pushing his advantage with all of these mutas, but Creegz wins the ground attack. Chadalac, what are you doing? You're supposed to... So this is going to destroy Chadalac because he's been only doing air, and there's nothing here to stop this Ling Rush from... There we go. This Ling Rush from walking right into the mineral line and causing all kinds of trouble. See that Chadalac is going to continue to attack the hatchery. I really disagree with that. He should be attacking down here, trying to snipe that queen or getting these gas to destroy the gas that's directly hurting his economy again versus trying to kill this giant building that's full of flesh. Chadalac is going to finish off the attack that nearly devastated his entire economy. Good news is that while Creeg's economy hasn't really advanced in the past 7 to 8 minutes, Chadalac went from riding on top of Cloud 9 to sinking about as far as you can go in this big game. Neither player are actually constructing Chadalac firing buildings for attack needs. It looks like this is going to be the end for Creegz. I don't really see how he can come back from this, especially now that Chadalac has another long-distance expansion. Once again, the suck, the suck, the suck. Don't do that. That's so terrible. Anyway, see, Creegz is trying to hop around down here. This is what I call hoping for a miracle. Is he knows he's definitely far, far behind. He's looking around and trying to find those hidden expansions. Trying to... Creegz, you gotta watch your minimap better, man. Watch your minimap better. Those spore crawlers are going to be just enough to defend those mutas, which is great. If he had the force to help deal with it. He's going to go up here to try and kill this expansion, which he should have started attacking ages ago. Meanwhile, Chadalac is going to build up another Mutaforce to continue his long-term mid-game extended harass. This is one of those harass techniques where you don't really want to do anything else except make your opponent rage with the same unit. It's not a strategy I recommend. Creegz is going to get a pretty good victory here destroying this expansion. However, one spore crawler is just not enough to save all of these drones, and this will be GG. I expect that this will destroy Creeg's economy to such an extent that he just won't be able to come back from this. See, a queen coming out gets the inject, which is good. That was a good use of her time while she was alive. But just not seeing it for Creegz here. Too many mutas. He's got enough to maybe push this back in the long term. Chadalac's gonna get another expansion on. You see another counterattack by Creegz. Chadalac, you don't have to let him do this. You could have had tons of bases near your own to help reinforce you. But instead, you have to run across the map. Meanwhile, Creegz is going to capitalize on the fact that he now knows his opponent has only Zerglings. I'm going to chase him down. Cute fact, Speedlings outrun Mutalisks. Bummer. You see that this expansion is still bringing in Chadalac money. He is actually mining pretty decently. For having only 13 harvesters, Creegz is not too far behind with only 3. Uh-oh. That's a bummer. See, the resources lost is about even, but it really comes down to the amount of money that Chadalac was able to get over his opponent by expanding and harassing a little bit earlier. Creegz is going to try to do something with these mutas, but I have a feeling it's going to be a Hail Mary. We got Chadalac here with a whole bunch of extra mutas. This could be GG if Creegz isn't careful. Micro, please. Not gonna do it. When you see an overwhelming force like that, you just take them for a ride. Their speeds are equal. If you can get out of their attack range, just run away. That was a pretty bad engagement, and Chadalac has I would imagine, very well-educated feeling that Creegz no longer has any mutas left. He's just going to probably move his mutas down here and finish the game. Boom. So, just to recap, scouting in the early game will really help you spot this stuff, Creegz. You really need to get more map vision. Holding those Xanagas can cost you 25 mins each. Just one Zergling, that's all you need. And that would have given you so much more information. Continuing to scout your opponent's base would have given you even more information, especially if you don't see a lot of lings coming out of him. If you don't see a lot of early attacking units, this should be a good hint that you need to scout their base. Now, if you see a ton of lings coming out of him and you have to defend and go, oh crap, ling rush, no, get banelings, go, no, then you're probably okay, because he's not teching. He's spending all of his money on those army units. So when you play, that's the phone. But when you play, you've got to remind yourself, okay, where is his army? Where's his money? Where's his buildings? Where is everything? You got to ask yourself. It's both direct. You see it on the map, and you see it in just how the metagame progresses. Late game, that economy just killed you late game.